My YouTube banner automatically changes based on what time of day it is and also the season and holiday. And I'll show you how you can set this up for your own channel completely for free, but you will need to know how to use the command line in GitHub and have Python installed. First, you're going to want to go to this repository, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. And this is a repository I made. I'm just on a test account so I can show you. You're going to want to push star if you want to help me statpad, and then you just want to fork the repository. Now that you have it forked, you're going to want to clone this to your local machine. Now that you have this cloned, you want to first open a file explorer and you want to look at the images directory. So this is where the images that are going to be shown as your YouTube banner are going to be stored. So for example, if I open winter, I'll have 12 images in here, which is starting at midnight and going all the way to midnight again, so 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. How they're named is by 24-hour time, so 00 is 12 a.m., and then the highest number here will be 23.png, so 11 p.m. And you don't need to have all of these in here, so for example, you just had 00 and 12, it'll just show those two switching between at midnight and noon. You want to delete the images that I have in here to add your own. And how this will work is it's December 20th right now, so it'll use the Christmas folder since I have images in here. But if you didn't have images under Christmas, it would just default to winter. And then if you don't have images for any of the seasons, it'll just go to default. So if you just wanted to have one set of images that rotate through for the entire year, you can just have them in default. And once you put your images in and then push them back to the repository to the fork, what we're going to want to do is go to actions here and enable the actions, which were disabled automatically because it's a fork. And then this will start running as soon as you enable this. So this will run every hour and try to update your images with the banner. But now we need to enable this in Google Cloud to enable the YouTube API. So now to enable the YouTube API, you want to go to console.cloud.google.com, which is the Google Cloud Console. And if you haven't made a project already, you'll be able to just sign in with your Google account, and then you can create a project. And I've already done this, but I'll just make a project with a random name. So then you want to make sure you enable the project you just created. And then first, you want to type in YouTube and click on YouTube Data API v3. And you want to push enable on this. And after this is enabled, you want to go to OAuth consent screen, which is the fourth option. And it'll say Google Auth platform not configured yet. You push get started here. And it'll ask for app information. It doesn't matter what you put in here. I'll just put a YouTube banner changer. And then it'll ask for emails, and it doesn't matter what you put. Now that you have that created, you want to go back to YouTube Data API. And now at YouTube Data API, push credentials. And you want to create an OAuth 2.0 credential, push create credential, and then OAuth client ID. For application type, you can just push desktop app, and then that name is fine. You can just push create. And now that OAuth client's created, you're going to want to download this JSON folder and save this to the location where you cloned that repository. And don't save it as the default name it gives you. You're going to want to save it as client_secret.json, like this. And to make sure that this will work indefinitely, you want to go to auth and then push Google Auth platform. And then you want to go to audience and you want to do publish app and push confirm. And this will make it so that it'll work forever instead of having to reset the token every 7 days. So you definitely want to remember to do that. Now that you have client secret.json in your project's root, wherever you cloned that, you want to run Python update banner. And this should open this Google authentication page for you. You want to log into whichever account has your YouTube channel. So I'll push Navish Mantis because that's my Minecraft YouTube channel. This is me from post editing here, so you might get a different screen for this part. It might look something like this, saying Google hasn't verified this app. In that case, you just want to push advanced and then go to YouTube banner changer or whatever you named it earlier. And it's going to give you a big warning, like you can let the app developer know that they need to submit to have it verified by Google. But essentially, in this case, we are the developer, so you can just ignore these errors, just as long as you don't share that credentials JSON or the later token JSON with anyone, you should be fine. So you can just push continue here. And it'll say Google hasn't verified this app. And this is fine. You just want to push continue and then continue again. And it should have created a token.json file. If it didn't create that, just try and run the update banner again. It should work. And then you want to copy the contents of token.json and paste it into the GitHub. So what you want to do is first go to settings, scroll down to secrets and variables here, push actions, and create a new repository secret. And you're going to want to call this YouTube credentials JSON, and you're going to just paste all of the contents of that token.json file here. So once you have your images added and you've created that token.json and added it as the repository secret, you want to go to actions. And now we can test if this is working. So in order to test, we can just do run workflow. And then if you see this green check, that means it ran successfully. And then you can check on your YouTube channel to see if it updated. And I already had this set up from my other repository, so it's working for me. But for you, you should see this change within about 1 minute. And we ran this manually, but what's going to happen normally is every hour, this is going to automatically run here, and it's going to update it based on whether there is an image for that holiday season or default for that particular hour. And this is running using GitHub Actions, which has a very large free tier. So this is going to be zero cost basically forever. And so is the Google Auth YouTube API. Remember to like and subscribe if you thought this was useful.